Trust the Force, Luke.
Sometimes truth isn't good enough.
I feel the need for speed.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
Welcome back to Winter Wolf's Den, everyone. Winter Wolf here, King Z in the B seed. Izap already here. He was first. He wanted us to let you know he was here at 5:11 for the last FrostCast of 2025. We've done this.
Yes.
We've done this 76 straight weeks.
75.
We're gonna be rolling right. I thought, damn it, I'm off by one again. Never mind. 75 straight weeks. I'm still getting the numbers wrong. King Z's still getting some typos in there. You'll see those later. Not to be outdone. And we're gonna keep rolling right into 2026. But tonight, for the first time on Winter Wolf's Den, this is going to be King Z's show, by the way. This was his idea in like May. He wanted to do this. He's been talking about it for like a year and a half. He put the work in. I think you guys are in for a treat as we hit off the year in review. We're going to hand out some awards. We got some lifetime achievement stuff as well for some folks. Got some categories. We'll lay them on you, but I think you're like what you're going to see here. Some picks will definitely be shocking. So we're going to run through the Frozen Wolfies. We're going to hand those out. And then we're going to switch right into Robin Hood season 1 finale because there's a lot going on in that show. And we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to try to get out of here so we can get back to you guys real soon with the series finale of Stranger Things, which started 2 minutes ago. So, dude, we got a lot going on here. But Kingsley, this is your show. Thank you for putting in the work, dude. I appreciate it. This is going to look fantastic. Let's get rolling, dude.
Yeah, ever since about 2 years ago when I was supposed to work on an award show and it got canceled, I've always wanted to do one. So I got together with the Winter Wolf here with Oracle in the background, and we came up with this idea. I probably went a little overboard. I see places where I can cut. Next year will be better. But this is the first annual end of year Winter Wolf Awards. As you can see with our nice little background we have here, our stage is set.
And we're dressed up, dude. Like we got dressed up for the occasion. This is a black tie affair. We're not to be outdone by any piddly ass award show elsewhere on the internet. Yeah. Just
we're coming after you. Yeah. Award named after a hot dog.
Exactly. All right, dude. Lead the way.
All right, so opening up our night of contenders, we chose a category that is a very favorite in the nerd culture. There's fights over who's the best and who would win in a fight, and this is our best superhero entry of the year. Roll that footage. Yes, the best superhero of the year. Our nominees are, now we did go through a strict list to find these people. So here's our nominees. We have Superman. We have the Fantastic Four. We have Daredevil Born Again, and we have the Thunderbolts. Now, some of you might think these are the only 4 superheroes, but there are a lot of minor superhero ones. There's always the kick-ass style, but these 4 kind of stood out in our area of expertise, I would say, where we cover
our field, sure.
Yeah, our field. So let's go ahead and pause it right here before we get into the winner. Winner's already been picked. It's been voted by a very select committee to select the winners of this. So
super select.
What do you have to say about our nominees?
Dude, you know, I'm glad this is a category this year because you're right. It's 100% within our purview. The whole channel is basically founded on Star Wars and superhero stuff. You know, I wanted to take a look at these things. I've thought that 2025 was a down year for superheroes. So throwing down votes in this category was tough for me. I'm glad you were here to balance out some of the darkness I had on a bunch of these entries. let me get your take, and then let's roll into winners. Let's not drag our heels on this.
Yeah, this one was kind of hard. It was a toss-up between two when I was putting down my vote with this select committee that we had that picked the winners this year. And it came down to one thing, and it came down to how well I felt about it. So, all right, let's continue on with the video. With no further ado, the winner is... I should have put a drum roll in right here.
Drum roll will be good for next year.
Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts wins. That's right. The movie that came out in May that was all about family and found family won the award this year for Best Superhero Entry. The reason why for me is I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it hit some heartstrings. There were some good performances. Of course, I love the actress who plays Natasha's sister. Mm-hmm. And of course, Bucky's in this, has one of the greatest scenes in since Infinity Wars when he took out the Humvees. It was just overall, it was a good movie. It was very touching. And then how he defeated the darkness at the end was very non-superhero-y, but it hits a chord with today's society.
Dude, I think I agree 110%. If there's anything redeeming about a movie that I would just consider as fine, as serviceable, I've said long time on this channel, I'm over blue sky lasers and shooting into the sky to like either signify danger or out punching the threat in front of you like it's been done. The found family thing has been done. I think they earned what they did here, and I'm glad they didn't try to jokeify it in the end the way the Guardians of the Galaxy may have. They took it completely serious in this. They literally hugged Sentry to the point that it restored humanity in him and he didn't kill everybody. It's different. It's out there. They're not the Avengers for me still, but as far as the other entries here, Superman and Fantastic Four were really flat, and Daredevil Born Again, I feel like flubbed everything after he suited up, which was early on. So I think this is a good pick by you.
Yeah, I 100%. Think the guy they got cast for Sentry, which is Bill Pullman's son. This is the second Bob he's played, because he played Bob in Maverick. Yeah. So I think he's a really good pick. I think he's a really up and coming actor who's going to be on to bigger and better things after this.
Yep. I like him. I thought he was a standout character in that movie as well. All right. Round
of applause for Best Superhero Entry, Thunderbolts.
Zzz.
Yeah. Moving right along, our next entry is one of those shows that you watch and you're like, why haven't I watched this before? Or where did this come out of? Like this left field show that you just barely see, or you just happen to run over a trailer on Netflix because or not Netflix, but YouTube, because they just throw out trailers to you. And
then you watch it and you're like, why is nobody talking about this? Because it should be a bigger deal than it is.
Exactly. And now we have 3 in this category, and let's go ahead and roll our footage. Best Hidden Gem.
I'm really stoked by the picks here, King, and I'll let you read them out. You do the work.
So our biggest hidden gems are Robin Hood on MGM Plus, K-pop Demon Hunter that took the world by storm, and Murderbot over there on Apple TV, based off of the book series Murderbot. So both of these all 3 of these shows just kind of snuck up on us. Why don't you go ahead and say why Murderbot got on there? Because that was one of your big ones to get on the nomination list.
For sure. I feel like I had to throw something on there that wasn't IP that we're always talking about. I couldn't throw another Trek thing on there. Couldn't throw another Star Wars thing on there. The Marvel stuff, I'm cooked on for that. None of those are hidden gems ever. Murderbot I put on there because a couple of years ago, I read book 1 in the series. I read that first novella, and it struck me at the time as being passable sci-fi. It had won a bunch of awards. It won the there's a sci-fi award for publishing.
Hugo.
The Hugo. Thank you. I'm pretty sure it won that. So, and I think that's what tipped me off to read it. It seemed pretty mundane until it got into the typical robot that learns a little bit more into the human condition, a la Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek. And I'm a sucker for that kind of trope. I love that vibe of things. And Murderbot really brought that home, especially how it ended, especially in the series, the Apple TV series, really nailed the ending for me. So I had to throw that up there, up against 2 other ones that I know that you saw that you really enjoyed, and you can talk about those 2.
Yeah,
Because I think K-pop Demon
actually-
Hunters was completely off your radar.
Actually, K-pop, it was you and my wife who brought me into K-pop Demon Hunter, because I didn't know what it was. I just saw it on Netflix. You know, it comes up with those random like pictures of like stuff on Netflix. And it's like, oh, another animated thing. Didn't think anything about it. Then you're like, you guys need to watch it. And my wife started saying she was golden, and I was like, what is this? So we went
gave
in,
you a little bit of this.
Yeah, we went and watched it, and I'm like, this is a really good movie. Like, yeah, it's animated. Yeah, it's built for a younger audience, but it had some really good music. It had some really good storytelling, and it had people overcoming something after meeting adversity, after failing a few times, not just, oh, I win this because I win.
Yeah, Ivan. Murderbot was great. And then Robin Hood came out of nowhere from you to me, like the complete opposite. You're like, dude, I'm seeing some trailers about this. And you're down for the folklore and the history, and that's kind of your wheelhouse thing. You've been a big fan of that stuff for mythology. That's very much a you thing. Tell me a little bit more about Robin Hood real quick, and then we'll get into the winner.
Well, see, I was scared going into the Robin Hood, especially after the last movie that had Jamie Foxx in. And you hear me throughout our reviews of this, how I slammed that movie, because that movie wasn't just bad. It made me want to forget that it existed, but it's burned into my head, and I just cannot. So I was going into this a little skeptic. We thought it was going to be the meme show of the year.
Dude, I was counting on it. I was counting on it week to week.
And then one of our members here, our Warden Prime here, he's like,
Warden
here, I'll pay for it if you guys review it. And he gave us a $20 super chat.
Bam!
And so we're like, all right, I guess since we got sponsored for it, we should give it a try. And it was the best thing we ever did this year.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and let's get into the winners. So the winner is...
Surprise, surprise. Because it just got glazed for like 40 seconds straight. Here you go. Dramatic
Robin in the Hood. I mean, Robin Hood on MGM Plus, the most obscure streaming service we have out there.
I don't even know.
Yep. But Robin Hood took home our hidden gem of the year.
Dude, and it's rightly so and deserved. I just got to say, guy, it's been a show that's been more fun to watch week to week. The story completely went up in places that you could see kind of coming. Like there's nothing, there's no twists and turns here. It's just fiction done well. And it quickly reversed all the concerns that I had about it, about the main character in the first episode being kind of a whiny bitch. He's well and good over that by the time the curtain comes down in episode 10. We're going to talk about that later tonight. It
was also another 10 episode series, which I think 10 episodes was way better than 8 episodes. There's more time to stretch some stuff out. And he has more time to actually tell a story. The other thing about this is that the lead actor who plays Robin Hood, this is only the second thing he's ever been in.
Which is
it's some obscure British show that he was in. And then this. And he got cast in this, and I think he's holding his own. Now, of course, the three ladies in here, the Queen, Priscilla, and Maid Marian, I think they have their performances are off the hook. And then the friendship between these two right here, Little John and Robin Hood, is what I would expect that friendship to look like.
You know, you're leaving out two key characters there in this hidden gem. You're leaving out immortal performances by Sean Bean as the Sheriff of Nottingham. And the character, we should have grabbed actors' names. We'll do that for next year. The guy that plays Tuck. I love Tuck and Robin also. Real quick, I just want to say, Ivan asked, why do people call MGM Plus a streaming service? Yes, it is a TV channel, but we are paying separate on the streaming platform. I don't know that this show is everywhere on everybody's cable package. This was the only way I could get it.
Yeah, I don't have cable anymore, so I don't see what our cable channels anymore. So that's why I named it a streaming service.
Ivan also says the only role Jack in that must be Robin was the only role
that's right
Jack had was on NCIS Sydney, where he used his his real Aussie accent. He was great in that small role too. Excellent, awesome, cool. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you. Yeah, dude, hidden gem of the year, absolutely well earned.
If you have the channel, I would go watch it. If you have to pay for the streaming service, it's $7.99. It's 10 episodes. It's a really worth the 1 month. They also have the Naked Gun and another series on there. I'm going to talk him into next year of us reviewing. It is 3 seasons already out, so we might just have to do a series review.
Yeah, that's why. All right, next category, please.
All right, next category. Of course, now that we've got out of our two basic entries, we're going to get into the more of the meat and potatoes of what this show does. Now, of course, we do superhero stuff. That's big. Fighting shows, that's big. But one of the things we did this year, and this year a lot, was horror. And now... And this year ran wild in the horror category and letting us know that horror is alive and it's well. So we had to narrow it down. So here's our nominees for best horror.
It was not easy, ladies and gentlemen. Believe that. We actually started with one group of like 5 or 6 and had to drop a few of them as we remembered other stuff.
So our entries are The Conjuring, Last Rites, Barbarian, Weapons, and Sinners.
Now, King, before you go on, explain to everybody why Barbarian is in there, if you would.
Okay, the reason why we have Barbarian in there, and later you'll see another nominee that it did not come out in 2025. The reason why is we did best movie that we have seen. Now, the rule is we both have not seen it. Neither one of us can rewatch it and put it as a nominee. So it was a first-time watch for either of us. So Barbarian, we never watched it before. Because of Weapons, we went back and watched Barbarian. And if you haven't seen Barbarian, you need to watch it because it's a great horror film. Is the first entry of this guy who is a comedic actor, kind of like the Jordan Peele route. And now Weapons is out. Now, Jordan Peele wanted Weapons, and he fired his assistant for not getting the rights to it. So that one came in, like a lot of people were super hyped about that because of Barbarian. So that's why both of them got nominated. Why don't you knock out the other two?
Definitely, for sure. The Conjuring Last Rites is the capstone of that franchise. You know, they're going with the expanded universe, but it's the end of the Warren story. They're taking off. They kind of set up the younger daughter to take over the franchise. So you guys are definitely going to get more of that. And then there's Sinners. And I think Sinners is another one that literally proved halfway through the year, or no, that was earlier in the year. That was, I think that was summer, I think, that horror, not only is horror alive and well, like you said, but it's actually profitable in almost every effing case that they get, as long as it's not some derivative BS sequel. You know what I mean? To the exception of how The Conjuring Last Rites, which cleaned up opening box office weekend, cleaned up.
I believe both The Conjuring Last Rites, Weapons, and Sinners hit right under $1 billion.
Dude, destroyed the box office and had like that the lack of diminishing returns that we're always faulting things like the crappy Star Wars movies that we do see, where they're like, or this Marvel stuff. I meant to say it was a 70% drop week 1 to week 2. These movies had like 32% drops, and then had stronger weekends 4, 5, and 6 because they were allowed to stay there because word of mouth tracked and got legs underneath these movies. 100%.
And it also Conjuring Last Rite stuck to what it usually does, but like Sinners took a whole new take on the vampire genre. So I really enjoyed that, even though they did not destroy the lore like some of these vampire movies. You know which one we're talking about. It added to the lore, which I think was a lot better. So let's go ahead and keep running. Let's get to who our winner is.
I think there's going to be a little bit of surprise and maybe even some controversy in the pick, but here you go.
The winner is...
We need that drum roll for sure. Like 3 seconds less on the winner is, but it is. Here you go.
Here we go.
Yep, here
Michael
we go again.
B. Jordan, Sinners, wins it.
King, tell me about it, dude. Tell me all about it.
So you have two brothers who are bootleggers who are trying to open up a black club back in not slavery times, but oppression times, Jim Crow laws, and like KKK was at its peak at this time. And the first night they're open, you think they're going to have issues with the KKK people, but instead they get visited by vampires. And it's a survival tale of them in there, but it also turns into a battle flick at the end when the KKK people show up. But the best part of this is the guy who the story actually centers around, and that's their cousin. And he's a musician. And there's this scene where he starts playing, and it's like, they say it's like you're hitting your right here, this scene right here. You just see it right there, a little piece of it, where you're hitting your family roots. Like you're hitting that generational sound. That's what I was looking for. And it was just so good. Yeah. And like no one put in a bad performance. This whole story was really good. And of course, Michael B. Jordan's Michael B. Jordan. He is a great actor. There's the two of them at the end. So yeah, this is a great story. It was a great movie and it deserves to win. If you have any other comments, go ahead and leave it in our comment section. Go ahead and chime in. We'll answer them as they come in. But I really hope you guys, if you haven't seen it, you go check out this movie. It's definitely worth the watch.
100%. I think we knew 2025 was going to be off to a pretty slapping start because this was the first big horror entry that came through. Then Weapons came. Then we wrapped up the year a little bit ago with Welcome to Derry. So basically all the stuff that we had hoped, I said Weapons, all the things that we were hoping rocked for horror did. And then for me in particular, I got the added little bonus of The Conjuring, which was not a franchise that I had seen all the movies of. If you remember, I had to go watch 2 and 3 right before Last Rites came out because you were like, dude, you haven't seen all these? And I was like, nope, just didn't care to. And I'm like, hey, look at that. They told an upgraded story in a way. It's characters that are actors that are aging out of roles as the characters are aging out of the roles they're playing within the story.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. I'm a sucker for those. Yeah,
as they got close to their retirement of their investigation service, their paranormal storage, and now the Warrens are real people, and their museum is now open, owned by Matt Wright, the comedian, and he is planning on keeping it open so people can come and see the Warren legacy that they built, and they do have the original Annabelle doll there.
You couldn't get me into the expression. I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. That's how I'm going to that museum, dude. That's it. No shot. Anyway.
So we did drop a category because we really didn't find anyone that was worthy for nominations. So it will be back next year, I believe, because I believe there are some good ones coming out this year. And that is Best Fantasy. So there is no Best Fantasy category. But if you have fantasy, you got to have sci-fi. And everyone loves a good sci-fi. And sci-fi we take in many different ways. Post-apocalyptic, time travel, space travel, alien abduction, alien war. All of that falls... Yeah, space opera. It all falls under that genre. So we had to get some lists. I already know one nomination right off the bat. If it holds up, comes out in March. And we'll be talking about that next week. So next week, we'll be doing our 2026 hype list. That's shows and movies that we are looking forward to in this new year that is coming upon us.
I'd like to expand that to include games for 2026, by the way.
We might.
I think that needs to be a thing. You're getting back into PC gaming on your side a bit. I think it's time to expand it just a smidge.
Okay. But let's roll our footage for our nominees for Best Sci-Fi.
This was a tough one. 2025 was not exactly stacked with sci-fi entries, in my opinion.
It really wasn't. That's why we only have 3 nominees here. Of course, we have Jurassic Park, Lost World. We have Murderbot, again, its second nomination of the night. And then we have Tron Ares with Jared Leto in the lead as Ares. So we had to narrow this down. I think we looked at a couple other ones, but they just didn't hit that level of what a award show would put up as a nominee.
It was tough. It was tough. Though it occurs to me now, though, upon reviewing some of the other categories, we probably could have, but it's not up for discussion now, of course, because these are locked in. We probably could have included Andor here. It just totally slipped my mind until now because it was so early in the year that we totally dropped the ball on that because that may have changed things. Andor was solid, but this is what we got. We got these 3. We did struggle to get these 3 entries in here because I don't remember seeing a whole lot of stuff, even on streaming, that I just wanted to maybe pick up and not review that I wanted to check out by its own. So it's kind of telling that we had to put Jurassic Park 9 on the list of contenders for best sci-fi because it would have been weird to do an award show for our kind of channel without a sci-fi section and a fantasy section in the same year. That would have been bizarre. Would have been
too weird. Especially that's kind of like the heart of our channel.
Right.
Like horror's our lungs. Like we like talking about it. We enjoy horror movies.
We write it.
Fantasy and sci-fi, that is like our bread and butter.
That's right.
All right. So the winner is for best sci-fi entry of 2025.
I think people are going to be surprised here.
They are.
They're not going to see it coming. and because this was a much heated debate within the voting channel.
When we're bringing it to Tron Ares. Yes, Tron Ares, the third entry in this franchise, gets the win here as it paid homage to the first one. I think that was what put it over the top, when they paid homage to the very first Tron in this. And of course, the look and design and the CGI in this is just next level. Like, Tron trying to set the standard for CGI back in the day, the very first one with Jeff Bridges. Now, Jeff Bridges does come back and reprise his role as... oh man, his name just slipped my mind.
You ain't gonna get it from me because you know I got a story about Tron. Yep.
Yeah. Flynn. That's
the
it.
guy.
Yeah.
Flynn, the guy.
Yeah.
The dude.
But I mean, the suits looked good. The way that they 3D printed them from the digital world into the real world, which is a concept that they had that started in Tron 2 Legacy, where it was Flynn's son who's now on the run, which they did hint at the end of trying to link these together. So we could expect another Tron entry here in the future.
In the middle of that, Ivan says the best Tron product is still the Disney XD show, Tron Uprising. That's the one we were talking about that we might have to look into. I think after Ares came out, I think we just kind of missed over it. I think so. I can't throw a challenge flag on that one. Dude, I know a lot of people like Tron Ares. For me, it's what you always call it's a turn your brain off popcorn movie. I didn't feel like I got completely yanked into the whole mind-bending thing of like the computer world coming to the real world just because it's 2025, it's 2026 almost now. We've now had 3 decades to wrap our minds around the Matrix. You know what I mean? We already had grown up with holodecks and things like that on things like Star Trek, but now we've got 30 years where literally there are entire shelves at bookstores full of sci-fi that goes over the whole incursion into the real world thing. So I didn't get blown over as much by the story. Effects wise, solid. Music wise, solid there too.
Nine Inch Nails handled the soundtrack
on this one, right? I hear it undid a couple of things from the ending of Tron Legacy that some people didn't like, but I wasn't there with Tron Legacy, so I can't comment on that. I'll call it a passable flick, but I know this one blew your doors off in the sci-fi category. Got to give it to you.
I thought
ISAP is definitely going to boycott us based on Murderbot being snubbed again.
Yeah,
for sure.
Murderbot got 2 nominations and went home empty tonight.
It is the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 of the Video Game Awards. If y'all know, you know.
Yep.
Anyway.
But I mean, it's just an honor to be nominated.
Of course. Not everything can be Expedition 33.
Yep.
As proven by our winner of the year. You'll see.
Yeah, I did really do
Leo DiCaprio.
Yep.
Thank you, Oracle. Thank you.
I did enjoy it. And like you said, I got to shut my brain off and just enjoy the spectacle that was on the screen. Yep. I got to see the way it played homage to the very first Tron when you had a bite and all he just say is yes or no. And it just so many little things, especially on the nerd side, and like how they showed hacking as people was really cool. I thought it was very, how do you say that? Creatively inspired.
There you go. That's all it needs to be. And that's how you win Sci-Fi of the Year.
That's right. All right. We're moving just along. You guys heard me talk a lot tonight. So this one, I'm going to step back and let the winner wolf move forward.
Roll it. Now, if you all have been here before, you know the channel has dumpster fires. We've got several of them lined up for you. This was a next to impossible. There were too many nominees this year, but we narrowed it down to these 4. And even then, I kind of look at them and I say, Ironheart, Alien Earth, The Last of Us, and Until Dawn. You can take your pick here. You're all kind of deserving of the title. But at the end of the day, there really is only one of these that owns the expression, the meme of the dumpster on fire going down like the flooded river. There's only one thing.
Yeah, the debate between the council took hours to get this down because everyone had good points on this. Now, I do want to clarify, The Last of Us is The Last of Us Season 2. Only Season 2. So, the winner is...
And the winner is, and if you guys have followed the channel at all over the last few months, we still reference this dumpster fire. Yes, that would be correct. It is the dumpster fire of 2025. Dude, it's got to be Alien Earth. It has to be. This show insults the viewer's intelligence from the first fucking minute of episode 1 and doesn't take its foot off the gas through, what was it, 8-9 episodes of the worst writing I've seen in a professional grade, written by somebody who people wanted more of. The guy that did Fargo, Noah Noah Hawley, who actually put his name on this abortion of a show. And here we are. You've got robots that have the minds of teenagers with no combat training that are decapitating Xenos. You got Xenos that in one scene are in the shadows and can't get anything done. And then the next scene, they're taking out complete battalions of heavily armored soldiers. Dude, I can't. The flashback episode, dude, that might have been the dumbest thing I've seen on television in 15 years. I'm not sure there's anything dumber than that.
I can't agree with you more. This show was so bad that it just became us joking
in
about
the daylight
for 30 minutes.
The Oracle pointed it out.
And then it also turned the xenomorph into a dog.
A pet.
Yeah,
he's a pet. Literally a pet dog.
He responds to whistle commands, and he brings you a bone, which is a dead body. The costume looked horrible. You saw him wearing Adidas shoes.
Dude, can we talk about Boy Genius or whatever that jackass's name was on the show?
The boy of
but dude, seriously, dude, 5 more seconds of this, dude, and I'd have shot him. I just can't. And of course, as the Oracle pointed out in the chat, this show is famous now for me screaming and ranting and raving in the daylight, as in you can't continuously shoot your terrifying legacy horror creature in the daylight. You see the shoes, you see the seams in the rubber suit. You can't do it. It cannot be done like that. You know, the worst part of Jaws is when they show the damn shark, except the end when it eats Quint, because that's awesome. But it's like one thing, you know, you can't do it all the time. And that show did that shit on top of the bloated cast, on top of the go nowhere subplots, on top of, the eyeball monster was dope. Hold on. It was special dispensation. The eyeball guy was dope. But dude, you remember the flying carpet one that people waited 9 episodes for, and then
it did nothing. It was very dissatisfying.
And then as she was getting eaten or whatever, she machine gunned 4 of her squad mates. I don't know. Stupid. And it's getting season 2, folks. So buckle up, mark it down. I'm going to nominate Alien Earth season 2 for Dumpster Fire of the Year for 2027.
It might have a hard running against Starfleet Academy, though.
That'd be next year, though.
Yeah, that's next year.
27.
Oh, 27.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right. So Starfleet Academy, and we'll get to you later.
Yeah.
We're going to get to you later.
Yeah. This show was just, when you start rooting for one of the monsters to win over the person they want you to think is the protagonist, you know your show is bad.
I mean, they even took the one good character that we like, the cyborg, what was his name? Morrow?
Yeah.
The black dude, right?
Yeah.
Good character, hints of complexity, hints of some tragedy. Like he's out on the space mission and, you know, time catches up to his daughter a bit and she gets sick and dies or died in a house fire or whatever it was. And he can't get back because it's a one-way trip, but he had been getting communiques sent. So he knew, like, there was some stuff there.
Yeah,
You flushed all of it.
62 years in space.
Right. And for a show like this, and this is how I know it's a good gauge of Dumpster Fire of the Year for this show, right? When you start off mediocre to okay on something, and then completely just jump on board, sit shotgun in the hate bandwagon next to me, like, dude, pull over, I'll drive for a while. That's how I know a show is god awful. You know what I mean? Because there's this and the one other show that I don't name with you around a lot.
Yeah.
You hate it that much.
Actually, we were both on the hate train on that one. The one where I jumped on was Ahsoka. That was
jumped on, dude. You swung in the passenger window and kicked me out of the driver's side. I had to grab onto the bar and swing myself back around. That shit was wild. But yeah, that's what I mean, dude. This Alien Earth is on that level of it's just that bad. It started better for you than Ahsoka did, but by the end, it's like underground how far it fell off. Terrible show. Alien Earth was garbage.
Even when my mental gymnastics can't make it sound good, you know it's a bad.
Dude, that's the barometer, dude, is you'll go out of your way in a lot of places to give people the benefit of the doubt in plotting your character. And I'm like, I might not go far enough, but there's no saving the show. Dude, the senior technologist in the lab who they fire and then let just walk around with total security access for 3 episodes. Then he gets killed and nobody notices he's gone. after he shuts off the track. Stop it. Stop. I can't. I'm not doing season 1 of the show again. Next award, please. Can't do it.
All right, so we're going to take a little break in the show. We're going to steer a little off of categories. This is going to be more of our recognition section of the show. We're going to start off with our Warden of the Year. As you know, we started our membership program this year. And with our membership program, they are called Wardens, and we have free gifts for them when they get them. But we've had one Warden this year stand out above the rest. He has been there for 90% of our shows this year. The only time he really misses is when he's on vacation like he is now, or when there's a family emergency that pops up. Other than that, he's chilling with us every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 75 weeks straight. So our Warden of the Year, we salute you, Pape, as our Warden of the Year.
Warden Prime himself, the only person deserving of the recognition. The Oracle will have to accept on his behalf because he is on vacation, but I'm pretty sure he's going to catch the recorded version of the show. Pape, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. It's nice to see regulars checking in week to week, and you have absolutely gone above and beyond with supporting the channel, responding to almost every damn post we put out there. It's not unnoticed. It's appreciated. We're happy to have you, and we're looking forward to having you on board in 2026 as the first mod on the channel, also after the Oracle, who's on the payroll, so she doesn't count for that. But much love for you, Pape. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
All right. Moving on to our next recognition award. We have the first ever entry into the Hall of Fame, the Winter Wolf Hall of Fame. It is a thing. We're going to do something to recognize this person, put his picture up, maybe in the background. But our Hall of Fame class of 2025 is John Cena.
The time is now. Gotta be, dude. Talk about why this is the pick. A lot of people might not cross over with our particular audience ship, but why is this a thing this year?
So John Cena has been entertaining us in the ring for 23 years. 20 years as the leader of the company.
Look at his hair.
And he retired out of in-ring performance this year. Grand Slam champion, 70-time world champion, the never seen 17 champion. He is one of the most requested Make-A-Wish person, and he never misses a date. And he has made that jump, just like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has, into film, where he has been in movies like 12 Rounds, Blockers. He's on shows like Peacemaker, movies like Suicide Squad. He is in Fast and Furious, I believe 9 and 10.
Yep.
He did pass away in 9 and 10. So this here is a little tribute to you, John, as you enter into your full-time acting career and you hang up your jorts for the last time. So thank you for 20 years of entertaining us in the ring, and we look forward to seeing what you bring to the big screen and the small screen for us coming up. He is a box office draw, so let's just enjoy our first entry into the Winter Wolf Hall of Fame.
Yeah, dude, absolutely well deserved and timely. I saw a lot of reaction videos of his last walk-in, and dude, as every bit people are going to get emotional when LeBron finally retires, or when Jordan for us retired back in the day. People were welling up that this was this dude's last walkout. You know what I mean? And then you saw the you told me about the leaving the boots in the ring thing. I'm not a giant wrestling fan. I don't know all the culture behind it, but dude, you could tell people were choking lumps down for like 10 straight minutes as he did that. You know what I mean? So it's 100% well deserved.
So he also did an industry standard where he lost his last match, which I
thought was wild. You had to explain it to me.
Yeah, the outgoing guy usually loses his last match and puts another star over, letting him know that the future of the business is coming in.
Torch passed, right?
But when he lost and tapped out for the first time ever in his career, like the building, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone was like just shocked, and the cameras were catching all their faces. It was crazy. I thought they were going to riot. I really, really did.
You got to be careful with people, man. But dude, I had meant to ask you. Oh God, dude, I got one more thing to ask you about it though.
Yeah, but one of the things you do as a retiring superstar is you leave your shoes in the ring as a symbolize of your retirement.
I did. I went back and I watched that a couple of times just to get the effect for it. Shoot, now I don't remember what I was gonna. Oh, dude, the bit on the way. I don't know if it was a bit or whatever. When he comes in, they kick his music, the crowd starts singing and whatnot. Cena takes the camera off the camera guy, and he's filming all around, and the camera guy jumps out of the way, and then Cena turned the camera back on the guy to give him like his little, give him his little 3 seconds, and then dude's like, are you ready, John? And if you call him John on a first name basis, I assume that's Cena's camera guy. Was it a bit that they had always traded the camera back and forth, or was that the only time that it happened?
So when he pushed hard into the loyalty, respect, hustle, and respect, he would run to the ring. He would come out there, he would do his towel, he would throw it off. He's like, time to go to work,
and then bolt,
and then he would bolt. So the cameraman was his steady cam operator who would run with him, holding this giant rig with him to keep him in frame going. And they became on first name basis between each other. And that's why he turned the camera around on him.
Good. That's respect. I like that. But I like that this dude, still being a professional in his own head, tried to get out of the way. And Cena had to like track him back a little bit and be like, no, dude, your time is now. I said, I said the thing.
Yeah.
I said the thing. Nice. Yeah, I like this category, man. And it's going to be cool that next year we'll find, it's obviously won't be a wrestling thing every year. If there's an athlete that retires, if Martin wins a winner out there or something, I don't know, maybe it's a Hall of Fame just for, maybe it could be anything. And we'll take, obviously you guys can nominate folks for us for next year as well. We'll take a peek at that. But great category. That was a great addition on your part to throw that in there. Nicely done on the montage. Well deserved. Well earned.
All right. So moving on with the show, our final 2 categories. These are the big ones that you've been waiting for all night. Our first one leading up is Series of the Year. Now, a series is anything that has multiple episodes on a streaming service, cable, or YouTube, anything that you can watch that has multiple episodes this year. Our nominees are this year, Robin Hood, getting its second nomination of the night. Welcome to Derry, which
surprise of the year here.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect, but we should have thought of something because it's in that 9 p.m. HBO spot, and that's just been delivering hitting hit after hit after hit.
Money, dude.
And then earlier this year, April, May, we had Andor season 2, the most anticipated second season of any Disney show I can think of.
Yeah, dude, it's not even close. It's not even close.
Season 1, we loved it. Robin Hood season 1, we loved it. Andor season 2 was really good. And of course, we can't wait for season 2 and 3 of Welcome to Derry. There's so many good actors and there's so many good stories, and just these 3 nominations. It was another hard pick for us.
Yeah, for sure. And like Ivan just said, I love Robin Hood, but it doesn't hold a candle to Andor both seasons. Good. A lot of us voting may have agreed. There's definitely a lot of thought went into the winner here.
And the winner is...
It was not easy. It was not. Especially with Robin Hood being on a hot streak, too. But, at the end of the day, this is a fantasy and a sci-fi kind of channel.
That's right. Tony Gilroy. He brings home Andor. Andor is probably the best first and second season of any show out there. We know there's not going to be any more, because if you want to see season 3, go watch Rogue One. It's the same thing.
I mean, seriously, it dovetails right into it. Dude, Andor season 2 is going to go down in history as being financially one of the biggest blunders for Disney, because they front loaded and spent so much money on it to get such a minimal return of viewers, which disappoints me as somebody that loved the show. And it's frustrating because for all the garbage they pump out about everything is blasters and Jedi and lightsabers and Skywalkers, the first effing time they deviate from that and give you a gritty Civil War, guerrilla war, on the like boots on the ground, no
spy
Jedi,
thriller,
no space magic, spy thriller. Dude, there were episodes in this season where we talked for like an hour and a half in like the review and had to cut it down, where Andor's going through motions of like classic spy thriller shit, where he's like doing the fake name disguise thing into the hotel room, opening the briefcase and assembling a weapon from parts that don't look like they make a weapon until they did. You know what I mean? That there's so many good subplots here. The bit with the Imperial Cyril, they got the Imperial security guy what's your name again? Like, dude, his whole ending was incredible.
Yeah, where he
Was
comes
incredible.
where he comes in, he's like, "You ruined my life," and he's like, "Who are you?"
Who? Dude, it was savage, dude. Ivan says Andor's growth from scavenger base leader, rebel leader was incredible, especially seeing him become a spy because of Luthen's training. Dude, again, and that there's so many layers to unpack with that show. Dude, that particular Skarsgård, incredible. That speech from season 1 still chills King Z's bones.
Oh, I love it. I tell everybody about that speech. Like, if you want to see how to deliver a monologue, this is your masterclass right here. But did you know that he had a stroke in between those 2 seasons? And in the second season, he said his timing was off because they had to feed him his lines into his ear.
Dude, you know, I remember talking about season 2 early on and saying, where is Luthen Rail in 3 or 4 of these episodes? I wonder if they had to minimize his role.
Yeah.
Until they wrote him out. Which again, dude, probably one of the best death scenes I've seen on television in a while, where his operative, I can't remember, I'm terrible with names, you know this, and it was like 7 months ago, like his de facto daughter had to kill him, that way he couldn't be interrogated, because he
leaked all the secrets, because he knew everything about the rebellion.
Right. He had lists upon lists, he had logistics, everything, and she pulled him off the respirator and cried. And attention, everybody else, it's okay to have human beings cry in your shows when it's deserved. No one will mock you for it. She didn't spill a cup of coffee and then bawl out. She killed her dad and bawled out. Yeah. You know, like, that's going to happen. But dude, but so many good episodes. The massacre episode, dude. I know you love that episode. Talk about the Gorman massacre, dude.
The Gorman massacre
Wrong show.
Yep. Not the Norman massacre.
Nope, wrong show.
The Gorman massacre was actually, I believe it's taken from a lot of different history type events that he pulled from, where he pulled it in. I think at World War I, because remember, World War I was started because the king of Austria was assassinated by an assassin who they thought and it would happen on French land, so the French were blamed for it.
Oh, yeah, cool. You know, hadn't considered that before. I was just thinking more like the anti-partisans, like the Italians that didn't want to go along with Mussolini's thing and organizing with the Allies, things like that. But there's a lot of pre-Vietnam imagery. We'll just from America. We'll just leave it at that in terms of the involvement. But tell me about that episode. I thought it was like walking on eggshells because you knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming. Like you might lose your anticipation because you know it's going to come. You're like, oh, but then when it comes and it hits. And then it hits again, and they release the droids, the battle droids out, and you just keep like, how long is it going to go when they just like slaughter everybody? Oh, it was awesome. So much.
The Gorman language being made real was another highlight. Dude, when they start singing in the square, you know that's a real song. You're like, oh, and then there's not, and then, dude, and the creepiest part and the most effective part is that whole massacre pops off in the same kind of stages that you know would happen in real life. It was an inside job. It was an Imperial that fired first. And then when a couple of tomatoes get thrown, a couple of them shoot back. And then when the rebels start shooting back a little bit, now all the stormtroopers that had conveniently filled in all the eggs. That's what I said to you when we watched. I'm like, dude, why are there stormtroopers on the steps now? Why are they there? They shouldn't be there.
We know why they're there.
Here we go. Right. Yeah, incredible series, dude. I wish this show had been given a proper due. I know it ends its story because it dovetails into Rogue One, into A New Hope. But outside of the first 2 episodes of season 1 with the search for my sister bullshit, and dude, I'm glad I take a mini victory lap on that. They abandoned the fuck out of that. Good. It was pointless. It was superfluous to his character down the line. I don't say that it was pointless. It was giving him the reason why he was at the spot that started it all. True. But I mean, I didn't need 2 hours on that. But that's a nit to pick from 5 years ago. I'm good with that. Yep. I wish there was more to tell in this story, because I feel like if there was more time to tell, because I feel like they could have had another season or 2 in here before getting right into Mon Mothma's speech on the Senate floor, which is another banger. Another banger. And through that one, that's an incredible actress there. So it's all good all around.
That episode was called Welcome to the Rebellion.
Yep. Because basically that's what he said. He said the thing.
Yeah.
And then because Andor said the thing, that's what he said to her as he was escorting her. I was like, welcome to the Rebellion, Senator. Yeah. She had been the one that was like resistance, but like arm's length, public facing. No, now you're in it. because you have to escape or they're going to shoot you.
And no matter what you
Banger.
say about this, it was visually stunning, both first and second season. The episode, The Eye in the first season, I think that was
heist.
the heist one.
Yeah,
And when they're flying out into that light storm that they were going through, that, I mean, is probably the best shot Star Wars anything ever.
It could be.
And then the way their ships look when they go into hyperspace, when you're looking out the cockpit, I think it's the cleanest look of a hyperspace jump. Like, of course, it was a little bit grainy in like the original, but with the new technology,
like 8mm film.
But with Tony Gilroy and his attention to detail in this, being the showrunner, keeping the details together, not having to direct everyone, not having to write everyone, but
just paying attention,
keeping it on the rails was his job, and keeping the trains on time. And he just made it look visually stunning. And hats off to you. I think we raised drinks when we did the final episode on this one.
We did. It was definitely a salute. It was a salute to their whole cast and crew. I didn't feel like anybody phoned, even the bit players that were on his original team from season 1 and the smaller cast from season 2, even as they expanded that out to the Rebels on Gorman. I don't remember any of their names, but they legit sold me on the fact that they were like 1930s anti-Nazi, like French civilians.
Yeah, the French underground.
The French underground, right? I'm like, this is exactly them. Perfect. Nicely done, guys.
So
solid.
Season of the year goes to Andor season 2 in the first annual Winter Wolf Awards.
Well deserved. Gary was good too, though.
All right. Going into the big enchilada. I know you guys are waiting to hear movie of the year, but before we do, we got some housekeeping to do. Be sure if you are enjoying the show, go ahead and give that thumbs up and get this out so other people can enjoy it as well. Leave a comment if you disagree, if you agree, if you think there's something a nominee we missed, leave it in the comments. We would gladly answer all comments sent our way. Go ahead, and if you do like it and you want more of it, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up or that bell notification so you don't miss anything. And if you feel up to it and especially generous, we still have a membership program going on. Our membership is wicked cheap, $2.99, or is it $1.99? I think it's $1.99. Yeah, $1.99. $2. And $2. We have 5 slots left for our initial 10 our first 10 members, which get a special gift and poker chips. Now the poker chips are special. It has a logo on one side and a QR code on the other. And if you want to know where the QR code takes you, you got to hit that membership. And so you can scan it and give it to a friend. All right. The ad is done. It is time. With no further ado, with no more Gillen the Lily, let's get to movie of the year.
I feel like now is a good time to review some of the stipulations for the Winter Wolf Den Awards here. Is that it's something that we saw for the first time this year. It's not necessarily, as you can see, something that came out in 2025. That rule, we had to make this adjustment because we were so moved by Train to Busan when we did this was part of our retro watch zombie month situation that we had done over the fall. We were so blown away by Train to Busan that we were like, I don't know, it can't be movie of the year. It didn't come out this year. So we're like, no, it needs to be up in consideration for the best thing that we saw, best film we've seen this year for sure. It would be wrong to do it because literally until we saw some of these other things, which actually ironically all 3 of these came later, it would have been wild not to include it. I just wanted to point that out. That's why Train to Busan is there. We had to make a rule to
100%. If you have power and you don't abuse it, then why do you have the power?
Seriously. So having said that, we can run the list. This little clip. The nominees are Train to Busan, K-pop Demon Hunters, Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's return to form, and Weapons.
You did not say visionary director.
We were contractually bound. You can't go wrong with any of these movies being in the top spot. They're all superior entries in their related subgenres. You said to me the other day, dude, I think Train to Busan might be the best zombie movie I've ever seen. Those are your words, not mine.
My words.
Talk about talk Train to Busan.
Train to Busan has all the dynamics you need in a zombie movie. One, you have a ticking clock of them being trapped on this train. You have family dynamics of daughters and fathers. You have found friends and people who just hate you that you just, please bite this guy. Kill him already.
And he always dies last. That's the problem with
Yes.
those assholes. Fact.
You have the young couple, and it's like you just keep seeing how they narrowly escape, and just I was just blown away. Like, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, see, there's one other movie that caught my attention and I got stuck, and it's what turned on my love for movies. Like, I enjoyed movies before, but there was one movie I sat down. I'm like, all right, I'll start the movie. I'll go make me something to eat. I'll get me a pop. I'm going to sit down. I'll watch a little bit of it. Maybe I'll do some homework. Yeah, dating how long this was ago. Woo! Started the movie and it got me from jump. And that movie was called Crimson Tide with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman. Rest your soul, Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
So this movie had that same type of effect on me with Train to Busan. It got me locked in. I didn't want to do anything. It's one of the ones you hold your bladder for. I don't care if you just drink 64 ounces of water. You're holding your bladder because you don't want to miss it, or you just hit that pause button. But if you saw this in the theater where you can't, you hold your bladder for this one.
You have to, because this movie, once it gets going, it just doesn't stop. There's the briefest moment of like 15, 45 seconds tension relief. But other than that, it's constant danger. That's like for 90 minutes or 2 hours, whatever it is.
And then just when you think the person you think is going to survive, you get kicked in the nuts. And then when something else happens, you get kicked in the nuts again. And now these zombies aren't your normal dumb zombies, even though they can't figure out how to work a door. But like when they want something, they go after it. Like when the train's pulling away and they jumped onto the it was pulling like a pallet, and they're hanging on, and then they're hanging on to each other as they keep going, like making like a long chain.
Oh, at the end.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was like, nope, never seen that. Dude, we've all seen the fast moving, the crawling up walls like fire ants thing. Getting dragged by a train is a next level visual burned into my horror brain forever now.
And using each other to climb up on each other. So this is why it got nominated. It deserved it. We neither one of us saw it before until we watched it in September. Go check out our review. It's in our past catalog. I think you'll get a kick out of it. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. Why don't you go ahead up and hit that K-pop Demon Hunter?
Dude, K-pop Demon Hunter is exactly like we said earlier on the Hidden Gem. I feel like I put on Netflix, in my daily rotation routine of doing things, and every 15 seconds, the top banner ad on that streaming service was KPDH. And I'm like, I have an adult profile. I'm not an anime guy. My kids all have separate pages that are age locked to their respective levels. So they're never on my account. So I don't know how this appeared in my, if you like, you might like, or Netflix recommends, because it wasn't on the number one on Netflix thing yet at the bottom. This was on the opening crawl for me. I said, okay, this is weird. And then at some point or another, I guess I just got bored with everything else. Like I couldn't watch as much as I love it. Better Call Saul for the 500th time. And I was like, why is this thing always here? Let me click it. And instantly brought into something a little bit more upbeat and colorful than I usually go for, and didn't realize that it was actually going to be music in it. I probably should have figured that out because it's right in the title, dumbass. But sometimes I'm a little slow.
Yeah. Oh, the musical numbers hit too. Yeah. Like the last song. This is what
we'll talk about that for sure in a couple minutes when we go over some other review stuff that I wanted to bring up. Dude, but tell me about Frankenstein though. I want to bang these other two out real quick.
All right.
Because this is something we both wanted to see for sure.
Yes. Like knowing that Del Toro was doing this, visionary director Ventura was doing this, was doing this, I knew it was going to look fantastic. He doesn't do bad looking movies. His use of color in movies is next level. He understands the assignment and he gets it right every time. So when he was going to do Frankenstein, everyone thinks of Frankenstein's monster and like the horror film and raiding villages. But when I was watching this, and I knew it wasn't going to be like your typical horror monster movie. I knew it was going to be deeper. The book is so much deeper than whatever they put on film. But I turned and I'm like, this is like watching a book being read to me. It was that good. The details were there. The performances. I love, was it Isaac or
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac, that's it.
Mhm.
I love Oscar Isaac as an actor. He is so good. He is the Moon Knight is so underrated because of his performance only is what saved that show.
Mhm.
Oscar
I can agree with
Isaac will be an Oscar winner before the end of this decade. I will guarantee you that. Take it to the bank.
Be a giant snub otherwise. And then the last entry we have in the final category of the night is weapons. And I think, and rightly so with this one, I think this one is not only is it a good movie, it was a product of probably one of the best marketing department moves that we've seen in a long time. Usually we're bitching and complaining about trailers ruining movies because they show you all the jokes, they hint at the ending, they hint at the big killer reveal, they hint at whatever they hint at and ruins everything all the time. The teaser trailers and even the extended ones for weapons as they came out over the fall literally showed you only the same thing. At 2:14 in the morning, 17 kids from this class all got out of bed and ran away. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get any shots of Gladys. You don't get hardly any shots, I think, of the two parents that get taken first sitting at the dinner table all creepy. You literally get the classroom and we're terrible with names on this channel, dude. The blonde actress, the lead, the female lead, whose name I can't remember. She was in Wolfman.
Yeah.
And what's his face? Fake Han Solo.
Or Jason Brolin.
No. That Thanos, not Thanos. The other guy, the cop.
Oh, the cop.
That gets shanked in the face with the hypodermic because that shit was funny. And he beat the crap out of fake Silent Bob, fake Jay.
Yeah.
But or fake Jesse Pinkman. That's what I called him. That was pretty funny when that shit came out. But effective marketing leading into a very effective horror movie that just has this foreboding doom as it moves through a very relatable, very familiar person's life, whether it's the teacher or the cop or Brolin is the dad that lost a kid. They put you in these four people's places and do some very creative work like Adam Krieger did with Barbarian, where things are, in this case, they're not told out of order. Each segment of person dips into, it sets up the next person's story.
Yeah.
So it's never really out of order. It's just, it's broken into chapters. I think they are broken into chapters during the movie. I think it says the name and then it goes into that character. And then go ahead.
I was and it kind of picks up a little bit into the other person's POV time, but then moves the plot forward.
Yes, it starts 5 minutes earlier and then it kind of rolls in exactly. So I think that when it came out, a lot of people, have a good night. A lot of people ate this movie up. Crowd reaction was strong, made bank.
Yep.
People were going in for multiple viewings. There's a stumble point for a lot of people, myself included, with the introduction of the movie's villain. A lot of people think that it lent itself to a comedy that felt out of place, especially the ending. The very ending rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I thought it was exceptionally stupid. You did not.
I did not.
You did not. But it's still made for a banger of a movie, was eminently profitable, and will definitely get Adam Krieger more work soon and probably a bigger blank check to play with.
I believe he's on point to do the next Silent Hill.
I believe you told me that, and I believe I was like, oh, yeah. No, I was Silent Hill, Resident Evil. I think it was a Resident Evil reboot.
Yeah, it was one of those
Resident
two.
Evil reboot. It was one, and I was like, oh, yeah, let's see what he can do. I'm down for that.
As I said earlier, it's like comedians turning into horror directors are really good because the people who make you laugh the most usually have the darkest secrets inside, and they let them out when they do these horror movies.
Comic actors are the same way. It's not just directors. It's 100. Just think of all the comic actors that got their start in horror, or vice versa. They did horror later when they knew they had range to do it. You're absolutely right.
Like Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo.
Hell, that was the one I was just gonna say. Hells yeah. Oracle says it's Resident Evil that Krieger's up for next.
Okay.
I'll take either one. Let them do both.
Let them do both.
Double feature. Krieger double feature. Oh, dude. A Krieger double feature? Didn't work. Not my best joke of the night, guys. But all right, let's see who the winner is, guys. It's getting late and we still got work to do.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with any of these four.
And the winner is...
It's going to show you how it's done.
That's right. The out of nowhere K-pop Demon Hunter wins this one, taking home the gold as movie of the year. Of course, we could not have an award show without giving the most talked about, most streamed movie of the year some type of award. And K-pop Demon Hunter delivers on all fronts. It's family friendly, it's entertaining, it's a good story, and it has good music. You can't go wrong with this movie.
Dude, you really can't. And I'm glad you pointed out like the most stream thing, dude. We're talking about billions of watch minutes here. Billions, right? We're talking about a movie that when they put it in theaters for like 2 days in August, 3 months after it came out, it made millions of dollars, right? We're talking about the most popular Halloween costume for little girls this year. My Trunk or Treat had like 12 roomies at it. It's not a big school. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy that this was everywhere. The musical journey of the artists involved. We were just talking about this the other day, where like their lead singer, I'm going to say it wrong. It's EJ or EJ. Don't know the name. Don't claim to be an expert. Like she's toured with those award shows for like 10 years and hasn't won anything. It took being a voice actress in a movie to put her on the map. And now she's blown up the Spotify chart, the top 40 chart, the this, the that, the other thing. It's crazy how omnipresent this movie was over the summer, and more near and dear to our hearts here on the channel. Like we put out a video on this. Thank you. Ivan says it's EJ. I think that's an A. I'm on my screen's on the smaller side. The EJ.
Yeah.
This is the video that like it effectively like almost tripled our subscriber numbers. That we put a video out as a 7-minute video essay that talked about how this movie is doing everything right that Disney and our other IPs used to do. They're just telling you a story with no other messaging other than the usual heroic tropes that accompany this kind of thing. There's no modern day messaging in here. There's no politics in here. It's literally, and I'm on the record as saying, I believe they're all teenagers. Somebody told me they're 27. I'm like, I don't buy that these characters are 27 years old. Right?
I would say early 20s.
Early 20s tops, right? They're young women. They have insecurities. They have doubts. They have some self-loathing in one key pivotal place. And these are all the things that always made our superhero comic characters great. The fact that Batman has some self-loathing, that he has some obsession, is what makes him maybe 23 tops. Exactly. And then Isaac, yes, tell us a story, not a message. This did. It was about being a team that they literally, and to quote King Z's, one of King Z's favorite songs, they let the demons come between them and had to fight their way back to each other to win. And I feel like if we let Disney do that, they'd have dropped that ball and kicked it across the floor for 3 fucking hours.
And you would feel sorry for the demons and like their backstory, even though they did a little bit of that, but he had a redemption arc.
Yep.
Not
Which was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah. So if you're going to have that sympathetic villain, they have to have the redemption arc, or it's for naught. But the part about that song you're talking about is that one part, like they were trying to write a song to fight the Sasha boys, who they know are demons, and they were going to do a takedown song, a diss track. And they're like, this isn't the song we and then the line is the song that we couldn't write. This is what it sounds like.
Right. They literally worked the story meta into the lyrics of the damn song.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think either one of us is necessarily a giant K-pop music kind of fan.
No,
but
I'm
like
really not.
There are no bad songs on this soundtrack. I'm not a soda pop guy. I don't like goofy shit like that. You rocking it. That's okay. Dude, but you give me that duet, you give me Free, and I'll belt that out in the car for another month and a half. You know what I mean?
Free,
I'm with that.
Golden. This is what it sounds like.
Dude, Takedown, How It's Done. Like, dude, there's like 8 songs on this thing, and they're all certifiably fun to listen to and family friendly across the board. They all bump, every one of them. You know, I'll take it a level deeper on just the animation. And again, I'm not an expert, but like I feel like their fight choreography was fun to watch. And every time Zoe throws that jumping, spinning back kick, I'm like, dude, that's badass. Like that's her little move. You know, Mira's got the giant spear thing, and like she's always sweeping shit and doing her thing. Dude, Rumi's got that walkout on the stage where she just moves the hand out and the fucking sword appears. Dude, it's your ass. It's over, dude. You're done. You're toast when the heroine can do that.
Or like at the very beginning where they're doing done, and they're like falling from the
Skydiving.
sky, but they stop and they're doing their makeup and they're like talking about getting their makeup right before hitting the stage.
Yeah. But see, that's what made this movie fun, is that they were girls first, demon hunters second, even though, you know, they had been brought up to be literal hunters. Like, that's the thing. Like, they were brought up by one of their aunts to be a group of badasses, but they're still wanting couch time and wanting to go to the spa together and rocking up the noodles and shit and being pissed at, like, they were diving after them where they were going to spill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's fun. It's lighthearted, except for when it's not. But then it balances back out. Ivan says, it was also great the way they talked about music as a concept. It's the universal connector between everyone and a shield that suppresses the darkness waiting underneath. The Hun Moon was a literal energy shield. And I love that part at the end. I think King will agree that when the three girls come back together, that's the sparking moment that literally brings the shield back to life, after they had already seen souls starting to glow in the crowd when the song started. Like, that first like spark lit up their manager. Like, they had snapped him out of the trance first. And I thought that was great. I love it. I don't care if it's on the nose. They earned it. By the time they had earned it.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I moved. I think I was dancing a little bit while I was on the couch. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It was so much fun. It was just a fun movie to watch. And of course, anything that you just enjoy, it should win an award. And that's what we're here for. We're here for stuff that people enjoy. We have to review bad shows. That's why we have our dumpster fire. But we're mostly here for the positivity of this community, of the nerd community, because we love what we love and we love talking about it. And that's why we do what we do, because we just want to talk about it. I'm at work and I have like no one to talk to most of the time. But when I get here and I get to talk with you guys every Wednesday night, it's exciting. I really look forward to this, and I'm really glad we got to do this award show. It was a passion project for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave your comments on how huzzah! Please leave comments on how we can improve for our second annual, which will happen next year around this exact same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a banger show. Thank you for putting all the hard work into getting the graphics done. Thank you for getting the sound together, mixing up. The background looks great, dude. Maybe next year I'll set up my green screen and we can unify it, or have different stations, you know, within the award ceremony. That could be kind of fun. We're gonna take a look at that. But yeah, dude, just to offer a thought on like what you said about watching stuff that we like. I feel like 2025 was a great year to be on the channel, where there were the dumpster fires, but we can literally outnumber the dumpster fires in 25. 2-1, 3-1 even, dude. Welcome to Derry, Sinners, Weapons, Barbarian, Train to Busan, K-pop Demon Hunters, Andor Season 2. A bunch of stuff that was a first watch for me when we went back, like before we did Tron Ares, that I crossed off like one of the glaring entries on my never saw it list and saw Tron. You know what I mean, dude? That was a great first watch for me, dude.
It's a very glaring list. Make fun of
Hey, Lady J,
often.
Welcome to the channel. Drum roll next year for sure. Yes.
Yes.
It was a tactical blunder on our part that we will mean to correct.
Maybe
I'll pay Kingsley to
up
edit it in after the
1:30 in the morning making this stuff. I waited too long to get everything together.
That's all right. Sound was my department and I didn't think of it. Sound was my department. I didn't think of it. But yeah, it's been a banger year here. And for all the other side stuff that we talk about too, we had thrown in some talk about books. We had thrown in some talk about video games. We are going to expand, I think, our hype list for the year, because dude, there's a new Dresden book coming out next month. You know, I'm going to glaze that to death when that comes out in January. So yeah, that's that'll be it'll be fun going forward. It'll be fun as we grow and continue to do these kind of things.
I mean, this has been our biggest growth year yet, with 436 new subscribers this year alone. It's been
solid.
We've been at this 4 years now, 3 or 4 years.
Only three.
Three.
This is year 3. Yeah,
and this is only our 75th episode of doing the FrostCast. That's a new addition to the show. We used to just throw up one-er videos as we did series and stuff like that. So I'm really happy we got the show going. We still have our one-ers coming out of different video reviews or trailer drops, and we're trying to get some more fun things out there. We had Retro Watch. We had Best of Worst of.
That'll be coming back in 26. I missed that. I actually missed doing the research and seeing which is the top episode. You guys if you haven't seen that list, to go check it out. It's a fun one where we take a recommended show, or we just pick one. we check out a couple of aggregate sites and see what the top rated episode was and the worst, and then watch them and review them and be like, I don't know what these people are talking about. That shit was badass. Or the other way, because the other way happens. But having said that, guys, we're going to shift gears, I think. I think Kingsy's probably ready to talk about the hidden gem of the year and get into our review of Robin Hood, season 1, episode 10. There we go. I was going to say, is there a switch up coming? There we go. Dude, you texted me yesterday. You said, I think you're going to like it, Wolf. And I was like, oh, hold on. Don't spoil nothing. Let me go ahead and let me watch it. I'll watch it tonight. I didn't watch it tonight. I watched it earlier today. That way I wouldn't forget most of what was going on. As expected, I did not watch it that night. You weren't wrong, dude. You weren't wrong. And
it delivered.
2025 delivers. It just did. It stuck the landing.
They landed the plane the way it should have been landed. And I mean, we shouldn't be surprised. Like the way the rest of this show went, I was expecting it to land the plane. And what they did perfectly, which so many shows mess up these days, especially the streaming ones, is the setup for season 2. Like they pulled all the strings and tied new knots, and it was nice.
Dude, not only did they land the plane and do the setup, they did something that most shows and movies can't do.
And that's
which is pull one over on Winterwolf. Dude, spoiler alert, dude. I'm going right into the end where Boromir doesn't get Boromired for a change. Dude, he stabbed that dude in the neck.
Yes, I was so shocked.
Dude, he killed the new big bad in the season finale. Like he's dead. It's over. Like he's gone.
Yeah, guy not going to be working here no more.
No, dude, seriously. That shit was crazy.
But
I thought it was going a different dude in the daylight. And she's using my account again now. Oracle, damn it. I didn't say that to myself. Dude, it was in a darkened tavern attic. Ivan said to talk about the whole series before the show began. I wasn't a fan of shortening Robert to Rob, but the scene between Rob and Marion in the pilot by the tree completely won me over. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So I think we were off on the whole the Robert thing and using like a modern day Rob. It didn't feel quite right. The showrunners didn't overhype the season finale by calling it epic, unlike another show, which we're going to watch probably immediately following this review. But just to stay on track, dude, King, just Glaze. This is your half of the Glaze session of this review because I've got nothing bad to say about this show, and they're undefeated episode to episode. Undefeated.
So what I want to say to your comment earlier, Ivan, is that they shortened it to Rob, but they did use Robert once, and they use it the proper way. Yep. When his dad's friend came up and he's like, Robert, stopping him from just straight killing an unarmed man. And
dude, lump in the throat, all he had to do was say his name.
Yeah, to use the full name. It worked perfectly. Yep. But this last episode, and we were talking about the sheriff just gutting guy, but he didn't get it done
him in the neck
without a cost. His right-hand man died. And he said, you were a good man, as he's not laying there dead staring back at you. But I mean,
I thought that was a bit abrupt. He was like, "You're a good man. God will reward you." Then he stepped over and went up the stairs. Like there wasn't a whole.
It wasn't over yet.
Handshake. It was not over.
It was not over. You're still mission driven. He is still the sheriff, and order must be restored. And that's exactly how I believe the sheriff of Nottingham would proceed.
That's how the Sean Bean version. Which, dude, I love Alan Rickman. You know this.
Yes,
you know this. This is the superior portrayal of this character.
Oh, yes. Yes.
100%. I mean, the mustache twirling thing is funny when the actor is funny and makes that work. This version is compelling. Dude, his scene with his daughter, I thought he was going to smack her up. Yep. I thought it was on. I was like, here he come. Here come them hands. I still can't believe I kind of rooted for Nottingham and his man against Gisborne. Dude, because Gisborne is a fucking war criminal. That's why. That's why you did that. And that's okay. You're welcome to be here with that outlook. It's
the sheriff was the lesser of two evils in that one. Easy.
Ivan's got another banger comment right there. Dude, Nottingham's Victor line was legendary after he called him traitor. He's like, nah.
Yeah.
Victor. I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Dude, the switch has been thrown on that guy going into season 2, 100%, which is great because I thought when he was walking up them stairs, I'm like, he's going to get fucking Boromired right here. That's it. He's not Boromir. He's going to get Ned Stark. Keep calling him Boromir. Oh, here it comes. And then he's like, oh, bump, shank.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that was played perfectly. That was played.
Get out of the way, old man. Shank.
And then going right
Got him.
into his sword fight with Robert, and then Robert realizing this is going to continue. There's no sense of us continuing. I got to go save my girl.
He was on the clock. My man was on the clock. And I like that because I like that he makes that smart decision, right? To bail. And the sheriff's like, dude, you fucking coward. Like, fight. Like, dude, I'm 105 years old. Like, let's do this. You know what I mean?
And he said, we'll fight more later.
I gotta go do something. Now let me tell you something.
Later, Sheriff.
Let me tell you something else about the fighting here, right? I like the fact that Huntington has not once, not twice, but 3 times beat the crap out of the lead of the show. Like mercilessly beat the crap out of this guy. He threw him out a window, and I laughed out loud because I'm like, maybe you just leave. I mean, maybe you stop going to every time you go to this house, you take an ass kicking.
Yes.
Stop going. Stop it.
Because the first time he just got punched in the throat and just
got punched a lot.
This one he gets round like a haymaker hit him and tossed out a window.
Dude, it was like when Debo knocked out that one dude for the bike, like he went up and out, and I was waiting for Chris Tucker to tell him, dude, you got knocked the fuck out. Like I was waiting for that because he blew him up. It was too funny,
and
it was way too funny.
For your convenience, Maid Marian did not outsword play anyone.
Nope.
He came up behind like someone of her size would, grabbed a dagger and put it in his back when he wasn't looking.
Dude, which you called earlier in the run too, when you were agreeing with the realistic setup of this show. There was no Brienne of Tarth in the show, which is fine. That's a one-off character, and she was 6'8" and trained, and so that all made sense.
That made sense for her.
But there wasn't rando daughter of the sheriff of Nottingham, 125 pounds of like sex demon, being able to just like destroy the marshal in unarmed combat. Like, no. Stop it. She just stabbed him in the back, cut his throat, and poisoned him, which is exactly what happened.
Yep.
Which made for a great closing image where Huntington had told Rob after he beat the crap out of him, I could kill you, but that'd be a mercy. If I kill her,
that would
destroy you. And then the last thing Huntington says as he's dying is Rob and Marion holding on to each other. Awesome. Fucking awesome. You read out Ivan for me real quick. I need a sip of roux.
Marion stabbing her dad was crazy, but I'm happy she didn't land the final blow, even if it was her first stab. I think did her dad in. Yes.
No, I don't know if that was the first one because Rob got him in the side also when he got the slash.
Yeah,
that was the first one. Rob got him deep.
She got him in that back where it just that annoying pain.
Yeah, but he's got the leather armor. There might have been some ring in there too. I don't know.
I don't think she got deep. I think she got stopped with the armor.
It got his attention. Yeah, saved Rob's life.
But it was her second stab, and then Rob jamming everything in afterwards.
Oh, dude, you good, Ivan? You good? We can go back and do the play-by-play. We'll check it. But I agree with you 100%, brother. For sure, I love the fact that if she was going to finish the job, Rob just grabbed her wrist and spared her the lifetime of fucking trauma that would have been.
Yeah.
Brilliant decision. Brilliant writing decision there. 100%.
He's done. Let him die.
He'll die. Like he's finished. It's over. Yeah, but there's so much there's non-combat, non-final battle stuff to unpack here. And as we get into that, I just want to wrap up the combat stuff just from my side by saying next season, SEAL Team 6 needs to take a fucking loss. A good one. A big one. Because they just keep running over locations and doing shit.
But they're doing smart stuff. Like them doubling back to Nottingham and taking the walls.
Listen, don't get me wrong. It's a good plan, and I like it. I feel like it should just cost them a little more along the way, or just have them suffer one catastrophic battle next year where I'm like, okay, now you guys got to lick your wounds and do some new shit. And I love Gamewell's out. That was good. I like that because that sets up obviously what we knew was going to come of another character down the line, Will Scarlet for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that one hit me when I saw him take those 2 arrows or that crossbow bolt. I was like,
it was like 2, 3, 4. I'm like, dude, he got poked.
Yeah,
my man's got poked,
but he got far enough.
Yeah.
That was important.
Dude, hold it. Do this one.
Little John against Gisborne's Giant was one heck of a fight. It reminded me of Reacher season 3. If you've seen the show, I have not seen season 3 yet. I've seen season 1. I need to catch up.
I think we've all seen Clegane Bowl though. So, I mean, there's that. There's a good comp. Dude, that was a good brawl. I like that brawl too. I'm like, oh snap. This is going to be some shit. And I like that, dude, John had to fight dirty.
Yeah.
Smash that dude in the face. Now, we don't know if are we assuming he's dead? or is he going to find Guy Gisborne's body up there in that attic?
I
Giant.
think he's dead. His skull
is
was
he dead?
smashed in.
Was it smashed? I couldn't tell if that was just if it was hair or blood. I wasn't sure.
It was all
face
three.
planted with that rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, that was some solid.
And then him
smashing.
growling afterwards.
Yep, that was good shit. Nottingham never once underestimated Robin Hood, and usually in shows the villain always underestimates. Yeah, dude, the sheriff was telling Guy and the rest of these dipshits, yeah, dude, no, they didn't run. They moved with discipline. They're gonna go here. They're gonna do this. This is what happened last time. Okay, do what you want. The best portrayal of the character, not a one-dimensional jackass.
And then Tuck stepping up and like leading a strike team to make sure reinforcements couldn't arrive.
Yeah, good stuff. And I like that too. Like the people that were on his unit in that section, like as they're all volunteering to go, I'm like, this makes sense because it's 4 people that don't need to be doing the other stuff. Like they don't need Spragger to run the front line. They don't need Gamewell to run the front line. The unnamed girl that died with Gamewell that Tuck was crying over after they took the loss. I'm like, I don't know who she. Oh wait, was that the girl from the village?
Yeah, there's a girl from the village, and her and the thief, the original thief, really made a friendship. That's the reason why he came when she volunteered. That's why he.
I didn't put that together until now. Yep. Yeah, Spragger calling Rob a prince was a good callback to when he met him. Yep, that was. Dude, Spragger had another good line too. She's like, where they're like, we're gonna burn the bridge, and he's like, I like fire. I'll go. I'm like, dude, it just made me chuckle. I'm like, that's kind of funny.
I like Spragger. Spragger kind of grew on me. I didn't like him at first, but he grew on me.
Dude, because he's supposed to be that scoundrelly, is he gonna be the one that sells us out? Because that's what I thought. If you remember back to like, what was that episode? I think it was 1 or 2. He was there early. I think it was 2. I was like, I don't trust this dude. He's gonna he'll have the bone to pick because Rob got him
because he was one of the original poachers that he brought in, and he asked for leniency on them.
Oh, that's right. Ivan says her name was Isabel. That's right. Yep. So they took some losses there. I liked it that there's so much good stuff as they let it stand because they all went their separate ways. They're going to disband and hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
But Ralph tells Rob, we're not done. Like that's probably the most assertive thing she said to him in like 10 episodes, like that works.
Yeah. But he got his clemency too, but with the king coming, he's just going to ignore that and just walk right through that piece of paper. But
that's the best part of this show in a way is that there's no bullshit. The queen told her. The queen told us, like, dude, I wrote it, but he's the king.
He's the king.
Like here's the reality. You can go run and hide in the woods, but I can offer you other shit.
Yeah.
And then they kind of leave that up in the air, and you're like, oh, because then you see Marion go back with him. You're like, but
let's talk about the setup to that scene though, before she meets the queen. When she's walking down that hall with that fur up, she's walking those halls like she owns the place.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah,
dude.
She's
The confidence was just
Yeah.
oozing out of her when she's walking down that hallway.
She went from doormat to like lady in waiting for real. Like that's on now. Now that's on. Dude, it wouldn't surprise me if she's somehow instrumental in Celine's death or dismissal. Like I think that's a season 2 incoming. I missed Ivan on that one.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna go a bat from Ralph to Rosemary. I think she's gonna stay.
It's her
Ralph.
identity now. Yeah, because she's doing the undercover thing, or that's just who she is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a great dude. And the costuming again, because I know you're a big fan of handing the flowers out to everybody that works behind the camera on the craft side.
Of course.
Yeah, the choice of that garment, dude. I'm not a fashion guy. I don't know dick all about that stuff. They set the tone with like the 80% slow-mo walk towards the camera and the high collar thing. Like, no, that's
with the half hood over.
The half hood.
Yeah, she's walked in like she owned the place. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, man, look at the confidence on her. She walks up to the queen's chambers. She's like, you returned. She's like, I always planned on returning.
I didn't think you were gonna, but no, I'm back now, dog. I was waiting for just to tap fists or something. It would have been out of character, but it would have worked.
Yeah.
If we just roll it back to the beginning of the episode, just to get into some of that stuff, I really thought we were going to get the kind of cliffhanger here where Rob loses a bunch of people, the cave gets burned out, and they take massive losses because you get that surprise action where they come up with their plan to lead the Nottingham's forces in and this and that. But then there's the reveal that one of the other barons or whatever is leading 300 men to the cutoff point. And I was like, oh shit, if they don't get that information back in time, like this shit's about to blow up. And I thought maybe that was going to be the Empire Strikes Back ending we were going to get I am, dude, and I am not disappointed we didn't get that. I thought it worked out pretty damn good.
I think it worked great. You are completely right, Ivan. That is what Eleanor wants. And he did say that King Henry can't leave alive. And this is when we're going to see Richard take the throne. And this is where Robin's clemency will be pardoned, and he's going to be given back the land of Locksley. And then he's going to go on the crusade, and then he's going to come back to the Prince John thing. So I think that season 2 and season 3 right there wrapped it up for you.
Because they got 3, right? Is this already in the bag?
I do not know if they got 3 yet. The way they wrote the end of 1, it looks like they're pretty confident they're getting 2. I haven't heard an official announcement that it's coming back for season 2, but the way they wrote the end of 1, it definitely, like, they're confident they're all coming back.
100%. And I think Ivan was just about to mention something I was going to say. I'm glad they closed the season somewhat instead of ending in a massive cliffhanger. It's a smart thing to do just in case. Exactly. One of the things I thought right as they finally rolled to credits, because they did a bit of a Lord of the Rings, Return of the King thing, a couple of ending after ending after ending, but they were all quick. I was saying to myself, I'm glad that this is a self-contained story as is, but they've got some threads they can go with. Huntington was defeated. Gisborne's defeated. The sheriff's still out there. Rob's still out there with this core group, and they're hiding. They're blending back into society.
Sheriff is still disgraced because he was supposed to be replaced. Because he said, no matter what happens tomorrow, you're still out of here.
Right. Which is an interesting. If you want to unpack like King Henry and the sheriff, like if they're cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Bean's character, if the sheriff has been typically aligned with law and order and executing the king's will.
Yeah.
That whole, the king sent guy down here to take my job that forced him into aligning with the queen. That's a giant deviation from that guy's general moral makeup. Like, you're now talking about the king can't leave England. Like, okay, traitor. I mean, that's what you got, but I mean, it's a realistic thing. But I just thought that it's interesting that they're going that route. But I don't know if how do you take that the other route?
Self-preservation goes over everything else as soon as possible, and that's what he's in. He's in survival mode now.
Yep, for sure. But I'm gonna love seeing next season. I hope we get more of Prince John being uber douche. I think that's gonna be great.
I think the whole Rome thing is going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And you saw that Will went with them.
I didn't know. Was he on the boat?
Yeah, he got on the boat with the marshal. He nodded towards their queen because the queen looked at him. She gave him that.
That was Will?
That was Will.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because this is the show. Hold on, because this is the show where you told me that the captain of the guard was the pocher guy because all the white guys
I'm right this time. I am right this time. Yes, because Oracle, if you see her down in the little box, she's not in her head too.
Hold on, let me roll down for the nod. Is he right on this one? That was Will? Okay. Because when that character was getting on the boat, right? It was definitely Will. Don't worry. Okay. The 4 of you were saying it's him. When that character got on the boat and the queen gave him the nod, I'm like, whoa, who's this fucker that she's putting on the boat to maybe stab the marshal in the back kind of thing? I don't know what the fuck was going on. But all right, so that crosses that thing off. Will's in a skull. There you go. I probably should have put 2 and 2 together on that. Maybe adjust the saturation on my TV. I don't know. But dude, I think you're right. The Rome thing is going to be big because it's going to be an entirely new set for them to work with. It should look stylistically very different. I don't think we need to see farmer villages as much in this one.
No,
I think there's going to be some of that because Nottingham is still a thing.
Yeah, you're going to see Venice. You're going to see Rome. You might see a little bit of the countryside, like when they're traveling from point A to point B.
Right. Yeah, because it's not like our whole cast of characters is now suddenly relocating to the Vatican. You know what I mean? We're going to get that stuff, but it will be nice to see the change. I want to see, right? I was hoping, but she didn't get what she wanted, which was awesome. Again, not everybody wins. That Priscilla does not escape the nunnery.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Because again, a lesser show would have been like how Stranger Things has kind of done us dirty this year. Here's the problem. Here's the plan. I'm telling you the thing. We're using props. I'm going to threaten you to get what I want. And then I get what I want. Next problem.
No.
She did all that shit. And then the bishop
turned around. You're going to end the rest of your life in
take her pregnant ass back upstairs. It was awesome that she did not get what she wanted in that moment. She's not done by a long shot. She's going to kill this dude next year, 100%. But it's good that not everybody got the W.
Yeah. Yeah, the title of this episode was great. An enemy falls and another one arise.
Okay. Now, I saw the title And I was like, okay, that's good. It's kind of ambiguous. I like that. I did not read the episode description.
Nope,
if
I
the
refuse
Oracle is
to.
on, if the Oracle is on, could she please log on to MGM Plus and just get me the description, please, and just you can say it out or whatever, because I'm still gonna call MGM Plus. I'm gonna put in their complaint with them and say, listen, you got a good show here. You ruined 7 out of 10 episodes with the descriptions at least. The first 2 I think were okay, but like they started getting bad quick.
Yep.
So I kind of want to know what
I think it was
10
episode 3 was the first one where we noticed it.
After the death of Will's cousin,
Huntington's son. Yeah,
Huntington's son. Yes. Like, wait, what? Stop it.
And then we had to wait till the last like 5 minutes of the show to see his death.
Right. And like, no, you dicks. Like, you need to stop doing that, because everything else here works. Every character is interesting to watch. Tuck is a good foil morally. John's a good side, like second in command. Hey, you take these guys, attack from the rear. Guy's got a presence. Guy's got a voice you won't forget anytime soon. That's a fact. You know what I mean? And Marion and Priscilla are both
seasoned actresses,
solid. Right? They do what they're supposed to do.
Not including the Queen Eleanor. She is just hands and above everybody else.
I like just Marion and Priscilla in particular. Spraggart is French. Who knew? That was awesome. I'm French. I'm rude. I drink a lot. I sulk. I insult people for no reason. That was good shit. There was a good inversion here where Marion, like you were talking about, becomes the badass, becomes the powerful one, the confident one. And Priscilla, as she's seen by her father when she gets left, he's like, dude, since when has a dude leave and reduced you to this? And she's like this quivering, emotional, heartbroken schoolgirl. I'm like,
and then she goes, he left me with child.
And I thought the hand was coming, dude. I thought it was up and out, plow, but he didn't do it. All right, hit me with that description.
Here, let me go full screen on it so I can't read it.
Yeah, maybe I'm not going. Hit me.
As Guy of Gisborne embarks to kill Rob, the sheriff. Yeah, that's what against
the sheriff plots against him
to draw the King of England. Robert prepares to attack. Marion infiltrates her father's home
for vital intel. The outlaws lead missions crucial to victory. All must succeed or die. Dude, you know what? That's the kind of that's the item. That's the episode description I want going forward. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. It's no dead giveaways. It's no plot twisting reveals an hour before I get to watch the show.
I think we even go simpler than that. Watch the show, you'll enjoy it. That's the description.
Seriously. Ivan says Priscilla now can't use her body to get what she wants. I mean, she could.
She could. You can't get pregnant twice.
Right there. I mean, there you go. By about month 5, though, it won't be as appealing, I'm sure, to the guys of the era. But I can't say enough good things about this show. I think that this is well deserving of the hidden gem winner that it got. I think Murderbot is a fine show, just to add it to the comparison there. But it's not stand out in a way where, like, literally, if I did a review, if we did a team review, we wouldn't be talking about the finer points of like story, casting, set design, cost, like all that. There's always something to talk about here with this show, which is so weird that it's on MGM Plus, because I don't know what that is still. It's just there.
We watched.
I guess we can cancel it now and save $7. Oh, you need it still?
Oh yeah. I'm watching that other show, Road Heroes, which is also on MGM Plus.
Yeah.
It's the untold story of the creation of the SAS during World War II.
Maybe I'll take a look at that platform and see.
I think you'll enjoy it. The intro got me in there. Now, the first episode does drag a little, but after that,
I don't care about that though, dude. I know for a fact that every modern show has a historical shows now for us from like the 90s, because those are historical now, right? Classics.
Yeah.
They generally have 2 bad seasons, and I still love TNG. I still love DS9. Streaming shows, since they don't get 400,000 episodes, even a good show probably has a slow first episode, and I'm willing to give them Ivan, we were talking about Billy the Kid. It's on my list, and then I saw that there's already 3 seasons, and I was like, I can't crash 3 seasons for a review, but I could like sniff at it and just see if I watch on like my downtime. But it did look interesting.
We did watch The Naked Gun on there with Liam Neeson as well.
How was that?
It was funny. I think it got a little slow in the middle, but then it picked back up with the jokes better towards the end.
Yeah, I heard Liam's funny. He does a pretty good what's his face?
And it has some really good
Drevin,
running gags through it.
Yep.
Yeah, Lieutenant Frank Drevin.
Yep.
Police squad.
Leslie. I was trying to think of Leslie Nielsen's name, and then I said Drevin like a jackass. Ivan had also said Murderbot didn't grab me until the middle of the season. This show grabbed me. Dude, it did. It really did because, and for me, this one grabbed me. The Buffy scene. Now I got to go watch it. Robin Hood grabbed me because up front I didn't like him. I didn't like Robin Hood. I thought he was kind of a whiny bitch, and I was like, no, I'm not sticking around for this show because in my head the woke radar goes off, and I'm like, if he's a whiny bitch, Marion's going to teach him how to be a better archer, and Priscilla's going to show him how to use a sword because he's just a simple country boy and doesn't know, and he wants to run away to France and be an artist or some bullshit. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that. By like the second episode and his dad dying, like he's already starting to bark and bite back at people and lash out and become grown.
Yeah,
so, solid.
Yeah, it was a coming of age story, you could say.
Yeah. A lot to coming of age, revenge, the guerrilla warfare stories built in there. It's got all the elements of the folklore that go along with it. The magic stuff never. It's not a fantasy show. That's why we didn't put it in that category. Like just because the god spirit appeared 4 times, it didn't suddenly grace anybody the ability to like cast a fireball or walk on water or reflect magic back.
Or open up a portal to another part of the forest.
Right. No, there was no fast travel. Oh, dude, imagine that. You imagine how that'd be the meme, the car going off the fucking highway. Like, no, hold up. Portals. Like, no, can't do it. Like, no, they had to run and ride everywhere. And sometimes that travel time took a toll and had a consequence, you know. God was wasted in the season finale, unfortunately. That's one nitpick I have. Why even show her? Adric made more sense. I mean, they had already done the thing with invoking Adric early, like he fought to the last breath, and that was always going to be what Rob was going to do. I think Gada was there just to remind you that was her cave, or that was the hallowed ground, and that she was watching over her people.
I still liked how Rob respected Tuck's religion, when he was like, could you pray for her? And he's like, I already have, and I'll do it again.
Boop. That's what I'm saying. The Tuck thing was in. That's why I'm glad he got his due in episodes 9 and 10, or more of his due. He had started, and then they kind of wrote him down because we needed more John, we needed more Ralph, we needed some Marion supporting characters around Rob. But I think one of my favorite foils, or one of my favorite lower subplots of the show, is how him and Rob have those philosophical goings back and forth, especially when they reach that tension point where Rob is like, "Nah, dog, you're a fucking Norman. Like, you don't get it. You know, what do you're God, blah, 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 blah." And then he had to like walk it back. You know, talking about hate and war and all that shit.
Yeah, the back and forth at the end of episode 8, where he's like, Tuck's like,
John,
God's not real, and he's like, "Don't make me kill you,
but I'll bury you with your Bible." Yeah, bury you with your Bible, dude. That's what I mean. But that's humor that doesn't undercut what was going on, you know. And it never. I don't think that it's not a Marvel thing, so that was never on the table. But I'm always concerned for it now, and that's the problem. You know, I'm on the lookout for that kind of shit, because I feel like unintentionally, because Marvel was that popular for so long, everybody that's out there trying to write shit now is cribbing that style where it's like, oh snap, Wolf and King Z just had a giant shootout with the horde of zombies and King Z's bitten fatally, but one of these idiots is going to make a fucking joke before he dies. And no, sometimes you just got to fucking let the moment breathe. Yeah, and let the drama unfold into
it didn't have immediate aver. It let the tension come down, and then they went into the banter and the jokes where it's like, we just start joking on each other again.
Right. I proved myself worthy because I saved Rob's life again. You know what I mean? So solid, dude. All right, you guys go watch Robin Hood. I think we got to wrap it up for 2025. We're going to go watch Stranger Things. I think that's still the plan. And jump on and record some stuff for you guys for tomorrow night. But once again, from everybody at Winter Wolf's Den, all 12,000 global employees, I just wanted to say personally thank you for making this our best year on the channel.
So one more thing.
Shoot.
The series is over. We must give it a rating. We said we wait to the end. We did not do episode to episode.
Or a poll.
We were going to give it at the end, or a poll, which I totally forgot to do at the very beginning, because I was still putting stuff together as we were putting the show together.
Dude, you go first, because again, I want to give you total credit with saying, dude, I know this isn't the kind of show we usually do, but I've got a good feeling about it. pick your number. Tell me what the scale is, however you want to do it, and I'll follow along.
So going in, like I said, I was very skeptical going in. I was very guarded based off the last couple Robin Hood entries. Even the Russell Crowe one, which I thought was decent, was still very on the border of being bad. Mm-hmm. And of course, Russell Crowe had that stream of movies at the time that were just really bad. Mm-hmm. That Noah,
oh my god!
But the last one with Jamie Foxx, like. Then I see something new with Robin Hood. And like, I've always loved the story from the Fox animated Disney cartoon to
my favorite
Robin Hood Prince and Thieves to Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I make no apologies for liking Prince of Thieves. Zero apologies. None.
So going
Men in Tights is dope. We're doing that next year.
I'm hoping it was only a 3, at least a 3. And boy, did it was wrong. I'm so glad I was wrong. It was wrong in all the best ways. This show is a 9. Easy. I think the inexperience of the actor, even though he did pick up a lot and he did let some other characters carry him, it's a 9. It's not perfect, but it's so close. You could taste it. I think season 2, they're going to grow. I think if they keep the same writing team, we could be in this for a spectacle for season 2.
So that's a 9 out of 10.
Yes.
That's okay. Dude, I got to go a little bit better than that. I can't go all the way to 10, but I will give it the half. I will give it a 9.5, and I'll tell you why. There's a couple of ways I measure every show. I've said this in every review that we've done and every show I've done. The main mechanism by which I gauge a show is how often I feel compelled to take the phone out of my pocket. If I need to check the time, if I feel compelled to answer a ding of a notification. I watched 10 episodes of this show, and it didn't happen once. I waited till after the show was over to call you and say, dude, I don't know. This is still good, but when's the other shoe going to drop? Where's the flashback episode? When's that going to ruin everything? Never happened.
No, never happened.
It's never happened.
Stayed on the rails.
Right? It didn't do any of the literal political nonsense that I thought was going to generate the endless memeology, like Rings of Power or what's the other one you hate? I hate Rings of Power. You hate the other one.
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time, right? It did none of that. It didn't have to change anybody's role. Marion didn't become an outlaw sharpshooter with an automatic steampunk crossbow. None of that bullshit happened.
They saved that for the Jamie Foxx one.
Oh, dude, that was a thing. Oh, God help us. For fuck's sake, dude. None of that happened. And those are my 2 barometers. Like, you told a story, you put up something of a spin on it. I'm sure it's not a line for line adaptation of a ballad from the 1400s or the 1100s or whatever. And the story was serviceable. If there's any weakness in that negative 0.5 that I had to take off, it's that really nothing surprising happened. It was pretty straightforward, almost to the point of predictability, where I knew Huntington was going to die. That was a given that guy wasn't making it out of season 1. I knew where the plot armor would be because it is the story it is. So I know Rob's not going to die. Marion's not going to die. Tuck, I wasn't sure. I was like, they could expend one of them, but Little John's not going to die. No shot, And then they start adding characters. 2 weeks, they said that. Now you said the thing. So every time they added side characters like Ralph and her brothers, Spraggart and his ex-wife or whoever the woman he was with that died early on. I think that was his wife. He seemed pretty broken up about that. I knew they were going to be the fodder. So, I mean, there were elements of the predictability, but did it get in the way of enjoying literally 10 episodes in a row? No, not at all. And unlike, just to draw the comparison, unlike Welcome to Derry, which was another banger show that for some reason didn't win anything here today. Well, because we had to take that out of horror because it was a stacked situation there. Anyway, there were some slow points in Welcome to Derry. There were some bad effects in a couple of places. There were certain character beats that I didn't necessarily like, even though they weren't as over the top on the nose as I thought they were going to be. Like, literally every white person on the show is awful. Yeah, but they would be awful in 1952 fucking Northern Maine. Like, they would be, for the most part. So, I mean, there was some stuff there to not like. Still a great show. But Robin Hood, dude, easily the hidden gem of the year, 9.5, dude. Hands down. Easy peasy. Yeah, now my dad's watching it.
And that's the cheap. See,
Wolf is on it now.
I think MGM should write me back. I sent them a email with an attachment of everything we said nice about MGM Plus and asked if we could be an official affiliate of MGM Plus.
You're still waiting on legal to get back to us, I guess.
We're waiting on the email back. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I tried. I reached out.
We're the only channel covering your show.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
I think
Anyways,
more
dude.
people are picking it up. Like they started picking up around like our numbers were pretty low on the Robin Hood stuff that we did until
have
recently,
scaled.
and it's
Yeah,
been
they've
picking up a
scaled.
lot lately. And I think other channels are finally finding the masterpiece that we've been on since day one.
Yeah, that's like it's the other numbers that are increasing are the IMDb's where like the show rating is literally ticking up by like 1/10 of a point or two.
You damn right it
like
doesn't hurt to ask.
like a mid to low 8 from 1, from episode 1. Not any episode was never rated a 1.
No.
I mean, this is a Stranger Things. Jesus. Anyway. So, all right, dude, why don't you thank everybody for their time, wish everybody a happy new year, all the good stuff, and get us out of here. We got to go watch some strange things.
Gotta watch some strange things happen.
Some strange things. Things happen.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank all of y'all for spending your evening here on New Year's Eve with us as we did our end of year awards. I do hope you really enjoyed it. Please give me comments and suggestions for next year. If you already have nominations for our Hall of Fame, our comments are open. And we have a Facebook page. You can find us at the Winter Wolf Den on Facebook. Go ahead and follow us there as our content is going to start picking up there as well.
Thanks,
so please, stay in contact with us. We want to know what you guys are up to. So I want to wish you guys all a very happy next year. I hope it's safe for you and your family and you guys really enjoy stuff. I'm trying to pull something up and it won't come up. That's why I keep rambling on.
Oh, that sounded like a typical outro to me.
But here we go. Happy 20.
There it is. He had fireworks.
I had fireworks.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Let's get out of here,
Happy
dude.
New Year. Later.
Bye, guys.